The circuit court in this case held that one of those venue rules, Section 2101.5 of the Code of Civil Procedure, violates due process principles by requiring that some civil cases challenging state statutes and regulations on constitutional grounds, be brought in Sangamon or Cook County. The circuit court did so on the thinnest possible record. 2 declarations asserting that it would be more, quote, convenient to litigate this case in Madison County than here in Sangamon County, an additional hour away. That showing cannot be enough to establish that a venue rule violates the Due Process Clause. If affirmed, the circuit court's opinion would pave the way for due process challenges to every venue rule in the Code of Civil Procedure.
In the case of someone who lives in, say, the Second Circuit, okay, why is it not unreasonable or arbitrary to say somebody who wants to challenge the constitutionality of a statute, they live in the Second Circuit, they've elected their own judges in the Second Circuit, that's 12 counties, so it's not just one. The judges they have elected, one of those judges should not hear this. Why is that? Instead, a judge in Sangamon County or Cook County, instead of one of the judges that citizens of one of these circuits have elected. Why is that not unreasonable? Why is that not blatant forum shopping?
I do think the COVID cases are a good example of why that is not true. There are the good and, the Sangamon County Circuit Court took a very serious look at those cases when they were brought. Our office did not prevail in all of those cases. In fact, we suffered, multiple defeats. So I do not think this is a case about forum shopping, trying to get a favorable forum, a judge that's going to side with us. This is about trying to, as the General Assembly explained, consolidate and centralize and make more efficient constitutional litigation.
Yes, ma'am.
So a ruling in your favor, would it potentially call into question the numerous other venue statutes that are related to agency decisions? What impact would it have?
I don't believe it would have any effect whatsoever on any other existing venue statute, especially none that deal with agency decisions, because, as I stated earlier, those are appellate decisions. Those are the equivalent of, there's already been an administrative record created somewhere with presumably fact witnesses' testimony, and what's being decided by the trial, what would be a trial court, a circuit court, is they're acting as a court of appeals, not as a trial court. And I see that as substantially different than what was being done here, is that we're limiting the trial court to only 2 counties.
Earlier, Justice Holder-White asked a question about should we consider now the advances in technology in terms of making it easier to litigate from anywhere, no matter where venue is established. Should that be something that we should consider, that their times have changed and your clients could be able to participate remotely?
If we were talking about a case from the 1800s, before modern automobiles and interstate highways, I would probably say yes. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about remote appearances, Zoom, that kind of thing. And perhaps it's fortuitous that I grew up in a legal family, and one of my earliest memories is my grandfather sitting at his kitchen table doing an evidentiary hearing, or not an evidentiary, an argument with, I believe it was Judge Foreman, who was a federal judge, from his kitchen table on the phone. So, remote appearances have been around with us in some form for decades. But in my personal experience, the actual evidentiary hearing is something that is best done in person. Remote appearances are dandy for status conferences, for relatively minor affairs, to save drive time for managing the docket. But when you're presenting to a jury or a judge actual evidence, and you're having a witness authenticate documents, in my personal experience, nothing beats or nothing is better than just being there, handing the witness the document, and there's no art. Can you flip through the computer and having technical problems with different people having different versions of Zoom, and some person's technical skills not being the same as others. Being there solves all of that. And so, no, I don't think the fact that in some circumstances, remote appearances like through Zoom are available should change the analysis one iota.